3DO.
Was a barbarian king before he became the immortal hero. For years, no one could stop his reign of terror. But all things must come to an end. Upon his death, he entered the legendary Hall of Judgment to stand before the ancient council. There, the ancestors found him unworthy of entering paradise, so they cast him back among the mortals where... but I get ahead of myself. You wanted to know how he became king. Knowing where it all began will help you understand Tarn, the choices he made, and the reason the ancestors gave him a second chance. His people suffered generations of enslavement from Braccadoon and their henchmen, men like the brutal Rabbi. Upon defeating Rabak, Tarnum named himself King of the Barbarians, a title not held by one of his people since Braccadoon conquered their lands. But in the eyes of the Wizard Kings, he was just a rebel fly to be squashed. The Bards possessed the history and identity of the barbarian people, but after generations of oppression, only 4 still lived. Knowing the importance of these wise men, the wizard, Kurl, imprisoned them in his tower and held them for ransom. Tarnum's life in exchange for the Bards. Although the Wizard Kings ruled the Mudlands, not even they were able to completely control these muggy swamps. Then Tarnum dragged his armies through the mud with just one goal in mind: join the forces of the Mudlands with his own, so he could finally bring down the empire of Braccadoon. A vast mountain range called the Wall Peaks separated the barbarian steppes from the empire of Braccadoon. So the wizards built a castle in every pass to keep their lands safe from invasion. They boasted that no army could cross the Wall Peaks. Tarnum set out to prove them wrong. Tarnum and his horde broke through the Wall Peaks, but he found the wizards prepared for his arrival. A trap. Hundreds of his troops were buried in a magical avalanche, leaving him weak and surrounded in the land of his enemy. Years of oppression, the loss of everyone he loved, and an unexpected betrayal brought Tarnum to this dark point where his rage conquered reason. He decided the only way he and his people would ever be safe was to execute every living spellcaster in the world, and anyone who didn't join him was his enemy. Offended by the brutal and bloody turn the war had taken, his captains banded together and demanded to go home. But Tarnum couldn't accept their defiance any more than he could make them continue the fight. So at the next feast, they unwittingly drank from poisoned cups. With the defeat of Kessel Steelhorn, Tarnum shattered the power of the Wizard Kings, but his tyrannical rule was short. Out of the ruins of the Empire of Braccadoon climbed the upstart nation of Arathia, and one day its king would defeat Tarnum, sending him before the ancestors to be judged. But that is another story.